She's somebody's baby girl. She's somebody's baby, somebody's
Speak to
baby.
people and I'm openly, freely talking about it, it's because they know me, they know the incident, and it's just kind of one of those unspoken things that I don't openly talk about it. There's times I can, I don't have a problem with it. There's times I can't. It's all centric around holidays. Is when it's most difficult to talk about it, or when I approach the date she died, makes it even harder. But yeah, it's just kind of one of those things. Depends on when you catch me, how you catch me. Depends on whether or not I openly say, "Hi, my name is Mike Mater, and you know, I'm the survivor of a suicide." My daughter, Jami, took her own life by her own hand at the age of 16. How do you approach that subject? It's hard. I would find it easier to go up to my mom and say, "Mom, I got cancer." It's because it's like a stigma. It's almost like a disease. I don't want to catch it, kind of thing. It's not a disease. It's not a stigma. It's a problem um, all over the world that needs to be addressed. And the best way to address it is to talk about it. Young kid, 17 years old, just learning that, oh, you're going to be a father. I decided that at a young age to do the best thing for that child because we ultimately decided, yes, we want her. And then I kind of knew that I need to step up, provide. I worked a full-time job. I worked a part-time job. I went to school full-time in those early days. And, I regret that. I thought, well, I have to provide for this child. When I realized that, this isn't quite cutting it, and I became a contractor. And God knows I was gone all the time. And so, again, I started missing out on a lot of opportunities and a lot of time with my daughter. She's coming into her own and, becoming your typical defiant type individual, testing her boundaries, things of that nature. And so it made things hard. But they were manageable at that time. And it wasn't until I took another job that again I was still gone all the time, and that put a lot of stress on not only our relationship but my wife's relationship as well. And we had problems, and a lot of that kind of brushed off on Jami. Jami was about 12 years old when she started having issues at home. It wasn't your typical angst as a youth. It was more than that. She just stopped caring about school. She stopped being part of the family. That's about when we started taking her to see a counselor. Things did get better. We put her on medication. I wasn't crazy about the idea. When she was 16, I had just started a new job, and I was home a lot more. I came home knowing that Jami was supposed to be at work. Maybe she just forgot. So we called her cell phone and just rolled over to voicemail. So we didn't think much of it. So we called about another 30 minutes later, didn't get anything. Called another 30 minutes later, still nothing. So that's when we started calling her friends. And, that's about the time that, that thing that was in the back of your mind is now in the front. And your panic sets in. And so, we called the police. We did all the right thing, called all of her friends. Nobody'd seen her. And so we went everywhere, where could she possibly be? Went to all of her favorite stomping grounds. And, just you're praying and hoping that she just forgot. It dawned on me that my mom was out of town, and she lived over in the next town. And she had asked Jami to, hey, come clean my house, I'll pay you. And I thought, oh, well, that's where she's got to be. Got there and the house was pitch black. And I decided to look anyway. So I opened up the front door. Just this bad feeling, just kind of came over me. And so I looked around the house and I was like, okay, she's not here. I thought, well, let me check the garage just to be sure. So I opened up the garage door and, that's when I saw her vehicle there. That's when I saw her. And made a beeline for the phone. I called 911. Police were there. The ambulance was there. It sure seemed like just a minute. I felt the urgency. They felt the urgency. And so they were getting prepared to load her up into the ambulance, and we made a mad dash to the hospital. And they're sitting at the hospital, and that's when time seemed to take forever. And, and I knew. And so they finally got there, and they took her into one of the emergency rooms, and they were working on her. The doctor walked in. And I knew that if there was anywhere else on the face of the earth that he would rather be, it sure wasn't in that room. He looked at me, and I just told him, I said, it's okay. And he said, I'm sorry. And
she's somebody's baby, somebody's baby girl.
I went outside and made the most difficult phone call I've ever had to make in my entire life. Her first set of grandparents were there at the hospital with us, friends and family, but I still had to call my mother. And I had to call her and tell her that her first grandchild had died. And when I spoke the words, I know they registered with her, but it's one of those, automatic reactions that it's like, what? And so I had to repeat them and tell her that her granddaughter died. And then she spoke the big question, why? I don't know. Told you a couple stories how I thought God was talking to me. Matter of fact, I can't remember another dream where it was so real. Literally one of those, hey, I could smell the apple blossoms in the air. I could, feel the breeze in my hair. I had all my senses about me. I was telling him about how much I missed my daughter. And all the things that were left unsaid that I wish I could have told her. He stood up and was walking away from me, and he paused, turned around, and looked me in the eye and told me, he goes, I assure you, you will one day. This was more than just a dream to me, and I can't explain it. I would call it more comfort. Comfort in the sense that it was putting my mind at ease that what I knew to be true was truly going to happen. And, when people tell you, oh, in the next life you'll see your daughter, everybody tells you that. It's like, I know that. But this time, it was, I actually felt comfortable that it was true. Like a promise. It really was like a promise. It felt good. It's one of those dreams you wake up from. You sit up, and you're just like, I don't want to be here now. I want to go back. I want to go back to that. That was good. You know, I was happy. I mean, if you have lost somebody to suicide, you have my utmost sympathy. And I feel your pain. And I am truly sorry. I may not know you. I may not have known them. At the end of the day, I'm here for that reason. And that's to tell you that there are people that want to help. There are people that understand, that have been through it. I can't begin to describe the emotions you're going to go through over time. I'd like to say that you'll get over it one day. My daughter died in 2005. I'm not over it. I have talked to other suicide survivors, and some of them are going on 20, 30 years. They're not over it. It still hurts. Talk to them a week later, they'll talk relentlessly about that person, and it's nothing but good stuff. But there's hope. There's people that care, and seek them out. They're not that hard to find. They're out there. They'll be happy to talk to you. I worked hard and built a career because I thought that's what's important. There's more to it than that. It's spending time with people you love, people you care about, having fun with them, watching them smile, watching them laugh. That's what I should have been doing. I'm Mike Mater, and this has been my Divine Detour.
Here's to the twilight, here's to the memories. These are my souvenirs, my mental pictures of everything. Here's to the late nights, here's to the firelight. These are my souvenirs, my souvenirs. I close my eyes and go back in time. I can see you smiling, you're so alive. We were so young, we had no fear. We were so young, we had no